this program, let us start with a small introduction to this program. If you are here, it means you are chosen by the cosmos. You are not an accident. You are an incident. You are chosen by the cosmos to be here and to be blessed by the divine, just so you can express, just so existence can express you. You are a conscious miracle in existence. So we welcome all of you to this sacred spiritual experience, the digital experience of the divine. So you are a conscious miracle of the existence. And all of you will be learning so much today. And this may be what you think as your first time in the presence of the divine. But it is not just the first time. If you are here, it means you are chosen by the cosmos. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. We'll just be fixing it right away. We'll be back right after a short break. Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. We're back. So, as I was saying, if you are here, it is not an accident, it is an incident. There's a reason you are chosen by the divine to be here, just so you can experience the divine. All of you might be thinking, how is this possible? How has this worked before? So you can experience these answers through the powerful cognitions as referenced from the ancient texts of Hinduism, revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Okay, so let us now learn a little more about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Swamiji is the 1008th living incarnation and representation of Paramashiva, and is the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation, which is the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma, these sciences have been passed down from generation and generation, and Swamiji is one of the enlightened masters in this lineage to receive these knowledge from the. As Swamiji is also the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Kailaswanta Shamla Pita Sarbagya Pitam, and also the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tondai Mantla Samrajyam. And Swamiji is elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by many pontiffs around the world and by a congregation of Hindu leaders all around the world. And Swamiji has established the largest Hindu library, the Nithyananda Hindu University, all across the globe with over 10 million scriptures, books, and much more. And Swamiji is working so hard to revive Kailasa, to revive this our religion, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And Swamiji has also been ordained as the pontiff of the Dharma Mukti Swarga, many more adhinams and many more sampradayas. So let us now move on into the demonstration of extraordinary Shaktis. And all of you might be wondering, how do we awaken these divine Shaktis in us? How do we manifest these extraordinary Shaktis of Paramashiva? And we'll be learning about that in the further slides. So you will be learning in this power manifestation segment, you will be learning about how we can awaken these extraordinary Shaktis in us and how we can manifest these extraordinary Shaktis. So let us now learn about Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother. So Devi Parashakti, who is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness, the cosmic mother. She is the source Shakti. It is in her cosmic home, the Brahmanda Yoni, from which billions and billions of universes comes out and goes in. She is the source where the Big Bang and black holes goes on. Parashakti is the main deity of the sacred feminine and the divine consort of Bhagavan Paramashiva, who is the primordial divinity in Hinduism. And Devi Parashakti, Swamiji beautifully tells, the first and foremost relationship is with the mother. The ability to learn, even the idea to relate, starts with the mother. How to relate starts with the mother. Understand, your idea to relate, your ability to relate starts with the mother. The mother is a too important way to connect with what you think as life. In the Vedic tradition, our rishis were aware your ability to connect with the mother should be directed to the cosmos. It should inspire your higher consciousness and express through you. It should awaken your higher consciousness, and connecting with life as the form of a mother is the most sweetest, most beautiful, and most easiest form to ever connect. Even when we are born, the first word which we say is Ma. We are calling out to the mother. The mother is the first person who we can trust, who we can So, out of his extreme compassion and love for humanity, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is manifesting Devi Parashakti and gracing us and answering all our questions, attending to our prayers, giving us boons, and giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. So, Parashakti, the cosmic mother, is always available, and just by connecting to Devi Parashakti, you can get all your questions, prayers, boons, everything granted by Devi Parashakti. So let us now learn about what is Bhava Samadhi Darshan.
So, yes. So, what is samadhi? Sama is oneness and Adi means source. So Samadhi means one with the source. And Bhava means attitude or an aspect. So Bhava Samadhi Darshan is means being one with the source through a specific aspect, through this aspect. Bhava Samadhi Darshan is just by having a glimpse of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, you can cleanse the karmas of lifetimes and you will have a deep and lasting transformation in yourself. Darshan is the powerful superconscious vibration that is present around the avatar at all times. He simply radiates light. The No, that the PS.
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. So, okay, sorry for the technical glitch. I'm going to be continuing about the mirroring of neurons. So, how automatically our neurons get mirrored just by seeing the darshan of the avatar. All of you might be wondering, what are you speaking about? The mirroring, what are mirroring neurons? As all of you see babies, when they're any babies, when you clap, automatically the baby also starts clapping. If you show them how to comb your hair, the baby also starts doing the same thing. Because immediately when the baby sees something, the mirroring neurons get activated in the baby's brain. Same thing when all of us see the darshan of the avatar, our mirroring neurons activated, and it doesn't have to physically recreate. You don't have to physically do the movements. It is also silently recreating the actions and the energy which is in front of you, which is the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So let us now move on into a continuation of the introduction of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
So, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities as a lifestyle for humanity.
So Swamiji has made the science of power manifestation available to us just like that. And Swamiji is beautifully initiated all the disciples all across the globe, so many disciples all across the globe into this very science. And all of you are going to be witnessing that right now. So there is 4 pramanas or evidences. There are 4 ways that the science of power manifestation is authenticated. The first is the Shastra Pramana, which is the scriptural reference from the Vedas, our source scriptures of Hinduism. Next is the Apta Pramana, which is the experiences of the authorities of Hinduism, the Vedic rishis and scientists who have time tested and verified this science.
And the third is the Atma Pramana, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's personal experience on the science of power manifestation. The last is the Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study, the scientific experimentation done on the science of power manifestation. So the first power which we're demonstrating today is the power of third eye reading, where we will be blindfolding both our 2 physical eyes and reading through the third eye. So before that, let us listen to the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural reference for the power of third eye reading, which comes from the Vijnana Bharva Tantra, Sutra 34.
Kapalantarmanonyasa Militalochanaha Kramena Manasodadya Lakshaya Lakshamuttamam. Translation goes, by fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by that stability of the mind and inner space, through the power of the third eye, one directly sees the ultimate goal Lakshyam by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source Paramashiva.
The next is the Apta Pramana, which is the Vedic rishis who time tested and verified the science of power manifestation, their experiences on science of power manifestation. So this Apta Pramana is taken from the chapter 11 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, which is the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, verse 8, where Bhagwan Shri Krishna says to Arjuna,
Natumam shakyase drashtum anenaiva svachakshusha
Divyam dadami te chakshuhu Pashya me yogamaishwaram. The translation goes, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore I grant you the divine third eye. Behold my cosmic opulence. So in the Hindu Purana, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in the 11th chapter, which is the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, where Bhagavan Shri Krishna's Vishwarupa, where his cosmic form is being completely narrated by Arjuna through the power of the third eye. The next is the Atma Pramana, where Swami beautifully shares in his own words that he was able to see 360 degree, the 10 direction above him, below him, around him, everything, the skin of the stone on which he was sitting on and the skin of his body. He could feel everything as him. And the next is the Pratyaksha Pramana, where the scientific study measure shows the meditative states of consciousness using the positron emission tomography, the PET. So when doing daily activities, when Swamiji is doing daily activities, high activity is measured in the brain where the third eye is located. And when Swamiji is in the deep state of Samadhi, only the third eye region is active and almost 90% of the rest of the brain is at peace. Is active and alive. So let us now witness a live Sakshi Pramana for the power of third eye reading. And yeah. So I have an extraordinary Balasant, Manitya Virajananda, who is going to be demonstrating this extraordinary Shakti of third eye to all of you today. And as all of you can see, I have the medically tested eye band with me. In front is a complete opaque sheet and behind is a thick sponge. You can see that there is no gap between the sponge and the opaque sheet, and there is no possible way of light entering through this eye band. So this is the eye band I'll be placing on Mavirija's eyes right now. Meanwhile, all of you can go ahead and post anything you want. You can post medical terms, scientific terms, emojis, numbers, letters, shapes, stickers, anything you want on the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. And Mavirija is going to be reading out all your comments live. Okay. Yes. So Mavirija, you can go ahead and read the... Yes. So the latest comment which is posted in Kailasa's HPH YouTube channel is by expressions of me, who's none other than Mahajalandra Sthitananda, has posted, oh, back now, like exclamation mark. Yes, ma'am, you're back again. And before that, she has posted no sound and flow. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. And she has put a full stop and a question mark. And imagine, like I imagine you are in a hive with sparkles. Yeah. Yes, amazing. And as all of you saw, Mavirija was able to so fluently be able to read through her third eye, and she was able to manifest this extraordinary Shakti. And yes, and Mavirija, you can continue reading. Yes, so Mahajalandra Sthitananda has again posted Devi's Darshan. Devi's Darshan drenches us with divine delights of dancing ecstasy in beautiful deliverance and the purple color heart. Yes, amazing. That was beautiful. That is a beautiful demonstration of the power of third eye. So now I'm going to be removing the eye band of Mavirija. All of you can see. Yes. So all of you can see I have removed the eye band, and the eye band is completely intact. There is no difference in the eye band. And yes, so that was a very beautiful demonstration of this power. And it is not just all of you witnessing Mavirija doing this power. You yourself will be able to manifest this extraordinary Shakti Parashakti. Just stay tuned for the upcoming sections where you will be also manifesting these powers after the initiation from Devi Parashakti herself. And we thank all of you for joining us. And before yes, so due to a few technical glitches and the interest of time, we will not be having the power of body scanning today. We are completing for that, and we're completing for all the technical glitches and the inconvenience caused. And all of you can definitely join back for the power of body scanning tomorrow at 2 a.m. IST and 4 p.m. IST every day. You can join and you can get this power of body scanning done for you. You can get this body scanning done for you. Go ahead, call your family members and friends, invite them also to come for this program. And every day you will be witnessing these two powers. And yes, with this, we are going to be concluding this power manifestation session. We thank all of you for joining us. We're completing for the inconvenienced cause. We will definitely be having the power of body scanning at 4 p.m. IST every day and 2 a.m. IST every day. And please stay tuned for the upcoming segments, which is the divine feminine consciousness, where you will be learning about the divine feminine consciousness and much, much more. We'll have Ma Madhura joining with us. And thank you, Nithyananda. Yes. So we are going to be moving on to the next segment, which is the divine feminine consciousness, where you will be learning about who is Devi Parashakti. So let us start with the Dhyana Shloka of Devi Parashakti, which is from the Lalita Sahasranama. सिन्दूरारुण विग्रहां त्रिनयनां माणिक्यमौलिस्फुरते तारानायकशेखरां स्मितमुखीमापीनवक्षोरुहां पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नशशकं रत्नोत्पलं बिभ्रतीं सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम्. So the translation goes, the Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in a vermilion red body, with triple eyes sporting a crown of rubies studded with the crescent moon, a face all smiles, a splendid bust, one hand holding a jewel cup brimming with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. So let us see one more of the Dhyana Shloka from Lalita Sahasranama. करुणां तरङ्गिताक्षीं धृतपाशाङ्कुशपुष्पबाणचापाम् अनिमादिभिरावृतां मयूखैरहमित्येव विभावये भवानीम्. The translation goes, I meditate on the great empress. She is red in color, and her eye is full of compassion, and holds the nose, the gourd, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hands. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as Anima for race, and she is the self within me.
With that beautiful Jnana Shloka of Devi Parashakti, let us learn about who she is. Devi, the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes comes out and goes in. Parashakti is the source Shakti, the source energy, the source power from which all of us came and in which all of us are even now and in which all of us are going to merge. And
Out of her extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Vijavatara of the supreme part of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanitanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, gracing us and answering all our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us experience of Paramashivoham itself.
And in the words of Devi Parashakti herself, raising as the Omkara, expressing as Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as the Hrimkara, filled as Parashodashi, living in 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swamini who is in Kailasa, Shripura, Chintamani, Parashodashi, sitting as a part of Paramashiva, Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani, Meenakshi, as Nithyananda. I took Nijavat to give good boons to everyone, to bestow all goodness, the Hiranya Garbhaswarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samrajya Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodashi, Meenakshi. Taking a form of Nithyananda, I came here as a Nijavatara. With great compassion, I am blessing listen people. To do good to all of you, I took the form of Nithyananda. I came down as the Nijavatara. Raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva. Shiva, manifesting as the source of existence, the powers of existence, the expressions of existence from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Icha, Kriya, Jnana, growing as the four Vedas, expanding as the five Panchabhutas, beyond the six chakras, filled as gotras of seven rishis, the eight directions, existing as the nine grahas, blossoming as the 10 indriyas, being as the 11 rudras, creating all the worlds, bringing life to tell and make the truth blossom, and to do good. Parashodashi, Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came to bless every one of you. So that was the beautiful words of Devi Parashakti herself.
How to receive Devi Parashakti? Literally is seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at the moment. She is there in your screen. So always receive her very traditionally. So if you're thinking how you should receive. Keep 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin in front of the face. Watch Devi. Coins consider the traditional dakshina in Hindu tradition. It can be the lowest value. In India, it can even be 1 paise. In US, it can be even a cent. I'm not trying to monetize. Keep even 1 cent, it is okay. So for 100 days, if you have that cent, it will add up to $1. In India, 1 paise is okay. Offer that to Devi. After darshan is over, do namaskar and eat the banana, betel leaf and betel nut. Take it as prasadam immediately as possible. Collect those coins and send it to elephant. This betel leaf, betel nut may look too small upon your eyes, but in few days you will see how much it adds to your sentiment that really she is there. You will not take Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your
monotonous, unconscious mentality and lifestyle, and remind you and raise you to the powerful foundation to break your unconscious behavior. So, how to set up your tambolam? As I was saying, how to sit in Parashakti. It is called a tambolam. So, it consists of one banana, one betel nut, and one coin. So, you can see the picture over here. So, please take a few minutes to set this up.
One or two times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba. Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By third time, fourth time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings. One or two times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By third time, fourth time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality, and the relationship between you and that cosmic beings built. one or two times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By third time, fourth time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality, and the relationship between you and that cosmic beings built. One or two times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By third time, fourth time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality, and the relationship between you and that cosmic beings built. One or two times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By third time, fourth time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality, and the relationship between you and that cosmic beings built. One or two times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By third time, fourth time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality, and the relationship between you and that cosmic beings built. One or two times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By third time, fourth time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality, and the relationship between you and that cosmic beings built.
Nithyananda, welcome back, dear viewers. So now that we have witnessed the extraordinary powers of Paramashiva, let us enter into the next segment and understand some of the revelations made by Devi Parashakti for humanity during this Pralaya. So humanity is still undergoing the after effects of this cosmic deluge, the Pralaya. Thousands of deaths due to the global pandemic and emerging fungal epidemic, along with record numbers of natural disasters, have taken a huge toll on humanity's collective psyche, leading to an increase in poverty, malnutrition, depression, and mental health issues. So what has caused this? Who is behind all of this? And how could we have avoided this? And what is the solution for all of this? In this segment, let us go through an analysis of Devi Parashakti's revelations on the cause and solution of this pralaya. So as most of us know, the world is still reeling under the effects of this global pandemic, with over 4 million deaths and the number of cases crossing well over 175 million people worldwide. And the worst affected countries are the US, India, and Brazil. And in India alone, there have been over 29.5 million cases of COVID-19, with over 374,000 deaths and 75 million people falling into poverty since the beginning. And these numbers are considered to be severely underreported. So the actual situation in India could be much worse than what is being presented in the media. India is not just suffering from the global pandemic, but the ongoing mental health epidemic that has been devastating India since the beginning of this pandemic. India is considered to be the sixth most depressed country, with 6.5% of the population suffering from some form of mental illness and a suicide rate of 10.9 for every 1 lakh people. And suicide is one of the biggest causes of death among the age group of 15 to 24-year-olds. And India is not just suffering from the ongoing pandemic or mental health issues, but several natural disasters have been devastating the country, including the cyclone a few months ago in Kerala, and most recently, the floods in Maharashtra. And as all of this is going on, India is now getting into the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. So how could all of this have been prevented? Let us listen to Devi Parashakti's revelations on the 31st of May, 2021, and understand why all of this is happening.
இரண்டாயிரத்திருபத்திரண்டு வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய் தெரிந்து கொள், சொல்வதைப் புரிந்து கொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாத யாத்திரை செய்த பிறகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம்.
And the translation of Devi Parashakti's revelations: for this huge Kirmi Bhojanam hell not to come to India. In 2020 itself, I had planned to do the Padayatra throughout India and the 12 Jyotirlingas through my son Swamiji. They chased the captain of the ship out of the country. See what is going to happen. So let's go back to 2017 and see what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had revealed as the vision for this Padayatra that was to be taking place in 2020.
Want to do 1 year Padayatra specially for this purpose in 2020. 2020, planning for a full year, I'm going to walk from Rameshwaram to Amarnath. 1 year with 10,000 people, just walking all over India to spend time with people. 2020, there will not be any program other than Padayatra and just spending time with people. Just walking. Of course, 10,000 people will be walking with me. Maybe 200 vehicles to carry our food and all the other items, transportation. Enjoying the river banks, forests, and time with nature. 10,000 people manifesting powers, walking from village to village. What do you think will happen? The scene of Buddhism spreading will be repeated now. How the Buddhism spread. 10,000 monks walking from village to village. What will happen? That's only monks. Here power manifesting 10,000 people. The whole village will be manifesting powers. Just want to enjoy India and let India enjoy me. So planning for next year Kumbh Mela 2019, next year January Kumbh Mela. Before that, all the Balalayam, everything. Balalayam is going to be like the same structure outside with one stone tower, gold coated. It will be something like a 40 to 50 feet tall stone tower and 5 Rajagopurams, which will be something like 120 feet. This will be the Balalayam. And after the Mulalayam is built, this Balalayam will serve as a Utsava Murti Sannidhi, where the Utsava Murtis will be worshipped and where the Archanas. See, in the main temple, there will not be any Archana or anything, because just for Darshan itself, there will not be time. Like Tirupati, you can only have Darshan and Arti, the camp for Arti. No other worship is allowed in the main temple. Because 12 Abhishekam is going to happen, 12 Kala Abhishekams. So continuously the rituals will be going on. People can have only darshan. They will not be able to involve themselves in any ritual. Other than darshan, nothing else will be allowed. So all the archana, all the other offerings, like people will offer the archanas and other, everything will be done to the Utsava Murti, which will be kept in the Balalayam, the present Balalayam, the present structure. So people can spend time here. That will be more like a main darshan. This will be like energy darshan, where you can give letter, get response. So by next year, the Balalayam will be ready. So 2019 full year, I will be conducting the programs and everything. 2020 will be the one full year Padayatra, walking. From next year, Jayanti, means 2019's Jayanti to 2020's Jayanti. Full year, Jayanti to Jayanti will be Padayatra. Before that, we will make 10,000 people power manifestors. It will be sannyasi, brahmachari, grihastha, all put together. 10,000 people will be walking. What a scene it will be. I think that is the only way the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma can be done. I need to get into the ground where people can see me, where they are living. I can't be waiting for people to come where I am living. Now I am sitting in one place to prepare these 10,000 people and make this science completely user-friendly. For that only I am sitting and working. So I have given 2 years for me now, 2018 and 2019. So 2020, before that 10,000 people will be ready. to walk with me? Manifesting powers. We will literally solve every person's problem in every village. The way we are walking, the path, route we are taking, physical healing or mental healing, or it's a too big visualization. How will you visualize? What will happen if 10,000 power manifestors enter into a village and ask people, tell me your problem now, come on, let's sort it out. Understand, 1,200 years before in Tiruvannamalai temple carvings,
Yes, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed the vision for this Padayatra, that 10,000 people would traverse from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, and this whole Padayatra would be like the seed of Buddhism spreading again. It would see a revival of Hinduism across India. And literally, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was ready to go on ground and give people the solution for any of their problems and meet people wherever they are, to let them see him in their own home. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been preparing for this Padayatra since the age of 10. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been enriching people and getting them ready for this whole re-energizing process, for this whole revival of Hinduism, and to save them from this pralaya, to give them a super conscious breakthrough ultimately. And from that age, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been enriching and initiating the masses into the science of enlightenment through powerful discourses, initiations, and darshans. And over the next several photos, we will see the various programs that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been conducting over the past 3 decades. So here we have the Bliss Attracts Fortune program in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. The Miracles of Existence in Vellore, Tamil Nadu. And what is the need of a guru in Rasipuram, Tamil Nadu? The society is nothing but your mind in Namakkal, Tamil Nadu. And the Nithyananda Spurana program in Salem, Tamil Nadu. The Nithyanandam program conducted in Bangalore. The Birth Star celebrations in Tiruvannamalai. The Jain Satyajit, and the Jayanti celebrations again in Tiruvannamalai, Tamil Nadu. The Nithyananda Spurana program in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And the Guru Purnima celebrations in Adi Kailasha, Satyajit. The Bhakti Spurana program, the Dhyana Spurana program, and the Little Anandas program, which was to initiate the youth into the science of enlightenment, and the Saptayagam, which were a series of homas conducted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also guided 1,008 other disciples into these homas as well. Here you can see the various photos of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducting the homa and guiding people and blessing people during this whole Saptayagam. This was such a huge offering to humanity and brought so much of good and peace to the world. And the Nithyananda Spurana program in Adi Kailasha Satyajit, the Nithyananda Spurana program in Salem. In all of these photos, you can see how many people are in attendance and how many people are being blessed and initiated into this super conscious breakthrough. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had been continuously enriching people and preparing them to become strong power manifestors, to go on this Padayatra, to do this re-energizing process for so many decades. And unfortunately, the anti-Hindu elements made it nearly impossible for the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to do this re-energizing process by driving the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism out of India. Let us listen to Devi Parashakti's revelations on the solution for this, revealed on the 31st of May, 2021.
இரண்டாயிரத்திருபத்திரண்டு வரை இந்தியா செல்ல வேண்டாமா என்று கேட்கின்றாய். நன்றாய் தெரிந்து கொள், சொல்வதைப் புரிந்து கொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் ஓடத்தின் மாலுமியை ஊர்விட்டு துரத்தினார்கள். என்ன நடக்கிறதென்று பார். முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு பாதகு மட்டுமே நீ அங்கு செல்ல வேண்டும். அதுவரை உன்னை காத்து செல்லாதே. ஓம் ஓம்.
And Devi revealed that only when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is received in India again as the head of Kailasa nation with great reverence and respect, and is able to do the Padayatra once more and do the re-energizing process, only then will this pralaya in India end. And as we look around, we see so much of destruction, so much of suffering, and we see what the great rishis of the Vedic civilization had forewarned as this Kali Yuga. And the Kali Yuga is considered to be the worst of the 4 yugas, where man will be his own worst enemy. And in the Kurma Purana, it states that this Kali Yuga is the worst of the yugas in all the world. People are sinful and forget the dharma of the 4 varanas and the 4 ashramas. In fact, men are so sinful that no prescribed penance atones for their great sins. The only place which is free from such sins is the great sacred city of Varanasi, the Mahapuri. And the Kurma Purana continues on and states that Lord Rudra, Paramashiva himself, is the avatar for the Kali Yuga. And the translation of this verse, Brahma is the presiding divinity or Devata for the Krita Yuga, the first cycle of time. In the Treta Yuga, the second cycle of time, it is Bhagavan Ravi, in which appeared Sri Rama. In the Dvapara Yuga, the third cycle of time, the presiding divinity is Vishnu. And in the Kali Yuga, the fourth cycle of time, the current age, the presiding divinity, the avatar is Rudra, Lord Maheshwara, Mahasadashva himself. And out of his deepest compassion to protect humanity, Paramashiva himself descended into the human form in the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, on the 2nd of January, 1978. And if Paramashiva had waited even one more year to take the human form, it would have been too late for humanity. So let us listen to the Supreme Pontiff himself explaining about this.
And I tell you, O Hindus, don't be afraid. I am back with the same science. We are going to be rich. It is not lost. Just the last minute climax. Before it was going to be put off, I've happened. 1979 would have been late. 1979 would have been late. Time, I would have sent only ambassadors. Because no time, I have to get up and come directly. O Hindus, feel blessed. Science is not dead. It is available. I have everything needed to bring that science back to life and establish its legitimacy.
And the avatar's advent on the planet Earth was to protect the world from this great cosmic deluge, to bring the new age, the Satya Yuga. Let us listen to Devi Parashakti herself revealing about this.
ஓம் ஓம் உலக மக்களே கேளுங்கள். கலி முற்றி கலி கழிந்து புதுயுகம் சத்தியயுகம் புறப்பட வேண்டிய காலம் வந்ததனால் வந்திருக்கின்றது இந்த பெரும் பிரளயம். கவலை வேண்டாம் மக்களே. நித்யானந்தன் வடிவம் தாங்கி நாமே இங்கு வந்திருக்கின்றோம். நித்யயுகம் செய்வோம், நித்யயுகம் சத்யயுகமாய் மலரும் இங்கு. ஆனந்தமாக இருங்கள்.
And the translation of Devi's revelation, people of the world, listen. Kali Yuga has matured, and over time it has come for Satya Yuga to happen. So this great pralaya has come. Don't worry, people. In the form of Nithyananda, I myself have come here. I will make Nitya Yuga. Nitya Yuga will blossom as Satya Yuga. Be blissful. For this huge hell, Kirimi Bhojanam not to come to India. In 2020, I plan to do the Padayatra throughout India in the 12 Jyotirlingas through my son Swamiji. And in order to prepare for this Padayatra, the avatar began the Padayatra at the mere age of 10. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism began enriching people, one person at a time, with the truth from the sacred scriptures and the secrets of higher living. Even when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was just a teenager, all of the classmates of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism recall the yatra where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism led them from Guriyatam, Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai, his birthplace and a huge pilgrimage site. And when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was around 19 years of age, all the fellow monks at the Ramakrishna Math recall the yatra where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism led them from Chennai, Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai and gave them an unforgettable pilgrimage trip experience. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism continued walking the length and breadth of India, reaching more and more people and preparing each one until the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism founded the international mission, the Nithyananda Sangha, on the 1999 to revive Kailasa internationally. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the very first Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem in Tiruchendur, Tamil Nadu on the 14th of April, 2001. And here you can see the photo of the inauguration day when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was just a mere 23 years of age. And in 2003, the Avatar continued his Vijayatra all over the world to enrich people from various backgrounds. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's intensity and dedication for the people, even among crowds that don't understand English, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's voice resonated deeply and moved each being to tears. And here you can see the photo of the programs that were conducted in Guadeloupe and in Brazil, where most of the crowd did not even understand English or the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, but were just resonating with his presence. In 2004, the Avatar led his disciples on the first Himalayan Yatra, visiting temples, delivering satsangs, and initiating them into the super conscious breakthrough. And subsequently, the Avatar personally organized and led yatras yearly and guided individual souls not just to physical spiritual sites, but to supernal spiritual realms. And in 2006, the Padayatras were taken to the next level with the Kodikan Ratha Yatra, where crores participated and were impacted by Nithyanandeshwara and Nithyanandeshwari, who traveled from city to city, blessing each being whose eyes fell on them. And here you can watch a short clip of the Kodikan Ratha Yatra, and you can see the thousands of people who walked alongside the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and were just blessed and radiating in his presence. And in the Kodikan Radayatra culminated with the consecration and inauguration of the Garva Mandir, the Sanctum Sanctorum, with Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Parashakti and the Swayambhulinga at Adi Kailasa in Bangalore. And here you can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism performing Abhishekam for the Swayambhulinga Nithyananda. And these deities were energized as Archavataras to radiate the energy of Paramashiva and Parashakti to create as a ship to save humanity from the Pralaya. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism created innumerable spiritual energy centers in India as safe havens during this great cosmic deluge to protect humanity during this great cosmic deluge. And here are just three of them: the Kailasa in Tiruchendur, the Adi Kailasa Satvajnapeetham in Bangalore, and the Kailasa in Hyderabad. And in 2008, the Avatar created and energized the Nithyananda Vajrasarovar with the Anandalingam, which would protect anyone who bathes in its waters from the deadly COVID-19 disease. This Anandalingam is a Navapashana linga, which has so much of healing properties. So let us now watch the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism performing the Abhishekam for this Anandalingam.
सहस्राक्षाय च चतुर्धन्वने च नमो गिरिशाय विष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय च शुमते च नमो स्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयते च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्धने च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नम आशवे च जिराय च नम शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नम ऊर्म्याय च वस्वन्याय च नम स्रोतस्याय च दीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय च नमो च घन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमः सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्रोप्याय च वसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय च आशुरथाय च नमः शूराय च अवभिन्दते च नमो वर्मिणे च वरुथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने च शुधिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णे च वेजायुधिने च नमस्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूप्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईर्ध्याय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च ओम नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शंगाय च वशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षे नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमः तीर्थ्याय च पुल्याय च नमः पार्याय च भार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोत्तरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लात्याय च नमः षष्ट्याय च फेन्याय च नमः स्थिकत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः ईरण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किगंशिलाय च क्षयणाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुनस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्
And in 2009, the Avatar held another Kodikan Radayatra, which garnered international attention, creating a movement where lakhs of Hindus were once again embracing Hinduism. Let us watch a short clip of that Kodikan Radayatra.
போல நின்பதம் கண்ட என் மனோ நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நின்முகம் நீனைந்து இங்கு நிர்மலமாகவே ஆனதே இதய சக்கரம் அனகதமும் இனிந்ததே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே மற்றவர் கண்டு மறைகள் எல்லாம் கழன்று விசுத்தி அதுவும் அசுத்தியாய் பொறாமையோடிங்கு ஏக்கத்தோடப்பா புண்ணியம் எல்லாம் போனதே எரிந்தவாயிரும் ஏக்கமும் சேர்த்து விசுத்தி அசுத்தியானதே விசுத்தியை தீர்க்க விமலனின் பதம் விரைந்து இங்கு வரவேணுமே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே ஆமை பூகுந்த எண்ணகந்தீனை பொறாமை பூகாது காக்கவே
And wherever the avatar's feet have graced the planet Earth, there the seeds of superconsciousness have been sown. And with over 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems, over 1 billion people have been enriched and enriched by the avatar. And in the next few photos, we will see some of the Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems that the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has established to bring the superconscious breakthrough to humanity, and which have been guiding people and creating a beautiful ecosystem during this pralaya. So the first is the Kailasa and Iro, the Adi Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Adi Kailasa Sattva in Bangalore, India. The Kailasa in Tiruvannamalai. The Kailasa in Columbus, Ohio. And the Kailasa in Los Angeles. The Kailasa in San Jose. The Kailasa in Seattle, Washington. The Kailasa in Houston, Texas. The Kailasa in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Kailasa in New York. The Kailasa in Washington, D.C. The Kailasa in Toronto, Canada. the Kailasa in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And the Kailasa in Phoenix, Arizona. Again. The Kailasa in St. Louis, Missouri. The Kailasa in Oman. The Kailasa in Dubai. The Kailasa in London, UK. The Kailasa in Scotland, UK. The Kailasa in Netherlands. The Kailasa in Slovakia. The Kailasa in Belgium. The Kailasa in Luxembourg. The Kailasa in Austria. The Kailasa in Germany. The Kailasa in Italy. The Kailasa in France. The Kailasa in Switzerland. The Kailasa in Mauritius. The Kailasa in South Africa. The Kailasa in Salem. The Kailasa in Hosur. The Kailasa in Putnam. The Kailasa in Varanasi. The Kailasa in Rajapalayam. The Kailasa in Hyderabad. The Kailasa in Kerala. The Kailasa in Gujarat, which is the Yogini Sarvanya Peetham. The Kailasa in Tiruvanmiyur. The Kailasa in Alamkulam. The Kailasa in Tambaram, Chennai. The Kailasa in Avadi, Chennai. And more photos of the Kailasa in Chennai. And the Kailasa in Melbourne, Australia. The Kailasa in New Zealand. The Kailasa in Singapore. The Kailasa in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The Kailasa in Guadeloupe, South America. And all of these Kailas enlightenment ecosystems were created to guide people through this pralaya and to give them the super conscious breakthrough and to ensure humanity survives. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism also created the sovereign order of Kailasa with thousands of sannyasis with no discrimination against caste, creed, or religion. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiated thousands into Nithyananda spiritual healing, who are actively healing millions all over the world. And over 2,500 centers, Padaka mandirs, and home temples operate as de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa. And the avatar inspired millions to reclaim their Hindu-centric freedom. Thousands of Padayatras were conducted by the Hindu diaspora worldwide, honoring the hard work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the revival of Kailasa, silently preparing each one for what was to come. And in 2017, devotees in Malaysia planned a Padayatra and executed it successfully, with thousands participating and the dying Hindu population in Malaysia being reinvigorated. And for every major festival, devotees from all over the world have been performing the Padayatra out of their sincere devotion and love for the avatar. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has contributed over 26 plus years of humanitarian services to people all over the world and has provided over 1 billion free organic nutritious meals and still continues to serve these meals daily. And the billion e-citizens worldwide across 347 cities, 196 countries in 6 continents across the globe who have been enriched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the world's largest Hindu university, the Nithyananda Hindu University, has been established in the US, Canada, Slovakia, Switzerland, and France. And the world's greatest digital Hindu nation is Kailasa, with over 1 billion views. And you can connect with us on the various social media platforms, including Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and many more. And you can also connect with us on our various websites, including kailasa.org, nithyananda.org, nithyanandahinduuniversity.org, Kailasa TV, and Nithyananda TV. And of course, you can always stay connected with us on your phone through the Enlighten app and continuously be enriched with the teachings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has continuously been making himself available on these various platforms to continuously guide and bless people during this pralaya, to give them the super conscious breakthrough for which he has landed and has continuously been available for each and every single being. So you can continuously stay connected with us on all of these platforms and continuously be enriched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and his teachings. With this, we will be concluding this portion of the program, and we will be entering into the next portion of the program, which is the offerings that we can make to Devi Parashakti. So the Supreme Concept of Hinduism has been continuously manifesting Devi Parashakti in order to bless humanity during this pralaya. He has been continuously making himself available on the various social media platforms and continuously been manifesting Devi to bring healing to the world from the cosmic mother herself. So if you are just overflowing with gratitude and want to offer your love, your devotion to Devi Parashakti, manifesting through the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, you can stay tuned for the next segment where you can hear all about the offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti. Yes, we can go to the next slide, please. So an offering is a giving of a divine gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness. And it consists of two parts, the giving and the accepting. And only when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering becomes complete. An offering is not made out of fear nor out of greed, but out of your sincere devotion and love. And when an avatar lands, the offerings are simply a part of this grand Leela played out for the only purpose of bringing enlightenment to each being. So let us understand the Dhyana Shloka for Devi Parashakti. It states, moon-like face holding the Vedas on one hand, fire in eyes with lotus flower, and one hand with the Japamala, beautifully decorated with jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And this is from the Mulagama Manonmani Dhyanam. And the Dhyana Shloka continues on. I meditate on Devi with three eyes glowing like a moon and holding the Vedas, lotus, and gracing with blessing hands. And she is wearing beautiful ornaments. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. So you will notice in this segment, many of these offerings are made in gold, and there is a great significance of gold in Hindu tradition, and it's described in the Atharva Veda. Triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni, and one fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. One they call the seed of virtuous and powerful Apaha. In that, let that triple gold be for your long life. And gold is a divine element. It purifies anything that it touches. It is an element of great spiritual significance and has great spiritual powers of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees or even operates in its vicinity. And gold is present in nearly all of our Hindu scriptures, the Agamas, the Vedas, the Shrutis, the Smritis, the Itihasas, the Puranas. And in all of these scriptures, it is displayed abundantly and that gold is the most auspicious and purest metal which purifies our very being. In the Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold and exchanged in gold. Ritual feasts were even offered in gold bricks. And when one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. And kingdoms were built with huge doorways of gold. The streets would be paved with huge columns and huge archways of gold. Horses and cows were dressed in gold. And the Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. We called the in this river was called the Hiranyamaya, the river of gold in the Rig Veda, and the river Saraswati was called the Hiranyavartini in the Atharva Veda. And gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to any of your loved ones and the ones that you revere the most. And temples were constructed and paved in gold. Deities were made in gold and decked in gold ornaments because they maintain the enlightenment energy for thousands of years. It is a divine element that lasts forever. So the first offering that you can make is the e-hundi offering. And many of us are familiar with the hundi. Any temple that you go to, you often will offer a few dollars into the hundi just to say, I love you to your divine, your devata, your favorite ishta devata, whoever it may be. You'll just offer out of your sincere love, out of your devotion, a dollar or two into the hundi. And similarly, you can do that online now. Kailasa has made the e-hundi available for you to offer from your own home during this pandemic, during this pralaya. And it is stated that Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fears. So offering this out of your sincere devotion to Devi Parashakti will grant you with so much of grace and blessings from Devi. And if there's any fear in the minds of the devotees, Devi is sure to remove that fear. It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. And here it is not the autumn, the season, but rather the autumn of our lives when our thoughts turn more and more inward. And the role of the divine, it becomes much more prominent. And the need for Devi worship becomes much stronger. And it is stated that Devi is the one who bestows happiness on her devotees. So you can offer your gratitude, your devotion for Devi Parashakti by offering your kanika, and your name shall be chanted during the puja to Devi Parashakti. And the next offering is the Sankalpa chanting, which is the chanting of the offering the conscious resolution. And it is the whatever that you want to manifest in your life, you will always set a sankalpa for it first, the conscious resolution for it. And when you offer that to the all of her energy, her blessings to ensure whatever it is that you want to manifest comes into reality. And it is stated the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. The goddess being prayed to without any interest in anything gives that knowledge that leads to salvation and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. So offering your prayers to Devi Parashakti as the Sankalpa chanting, you will receive all of the blessings and the knowledge and all of the materialistic wealth that you could desire in your life. All of your desires and wishes will simply be fulfilled. And the next offering is the Sahasranama Svarna Kasu, which are the gold coins inscribed with Devi Parashakti's various names. And Devi is called Nama Parayana Pita, she who likes the repetition of her various names. And it is not just simply names of Devi, but each of these names signify a certain quality, a certain aspect of Devi. And whether it is her overpouring compassion or her love, her grace, her beauty, whatever it may be, all of these various names represent her various qualities. And this offering of the 1008 names of Devi Parashakti is a very special and unique offering wherein Archana is offered to the Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. And you can offer a gold coin inscribed with each of these 1008 names. And any of these names, you will be blessed with that divine aspect of Devi Parashakti. You will receive the blessing to have all of the Ananta Kalyana Gunas, all the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti. And the next offering is the Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pearl. And the pearl is signifies compassion. And it is well known that Devi Meenakshi is extremely fond of pearls. It's stated, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown are garlands of pearls, and the face shining like a full moon, who wears the anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of the lotus, who graces all with who graces all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddess Vani and Rama, and remains ever bowing to that goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And when you offer this Mukta Anguti, the finger ring with a pearl, you will be blessed with the compassion and love and overflowing energy of Devi Parashakti, Devi Meenakshi, in all of your endeavors, especially your business endeavors. And the next offering is the Svarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus. And it's stated in the Kamika Agama that all the kalashas should be wound around with a suitable thread and covered with new cloth. They should be adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. You can see that the golden lotus has great significance in the Hindu tradition. Literally all of the rituals have the kalashas wrapped or adorned with the lotus flower made of gold. And there are hundreds of scriptural references for using lotus in the worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in the worship of the ultimate involves the consecration of deities or meditating on the mudras and asanas used during worship. All involve the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, the lotus pericarp, or the lotus petals. And the lotus is a divine flower. Shakti of Paramashiva is called the lotus, and the base of Paramashivalinga is also a lotus, and the disciple of Paramashiva is also considered to be a lotus ready to bloom. So you can offer the golden lotus in any size that you wish and be blessed to have the state, the space, the powers, and the being of Devi Parashakti and Paramashiva in your inner space amid any and every adverse situation in your life. And the next offering is the Svarnamati, the gold toe ring. And it's stated that you whose brightness from the toenails destroys the darkness of ignorance from the minds of the devotees who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your 2 feet overpower that of the lotus flower. So you can offer the toe ring to Devi that adorn her sacred feet and be blessed with constant gratitude for receiving her blessings in every, even in the most difficult aspects of your life. And she will literally remove all of the difficulties or hardships that you might be facing in your life. The next offering is the Swarna Mantika, the golden hairline jewelry. And Devi is described, she who makes the nectar flow in all of our nerves from the Sahasrara, she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. And the Mantika represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully open. So by offering this Swarna Mantika, you can be blessed with the overflowing gratitude and the blissful state and the space of complete completion in your life. And the next offering is the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which is the favorite offering of all of the disciples and devotees of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. And when you offer this to Devi Parashakti, manifesting through the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, you will be blessed with all of the auspiciousness and blessings of both Devi and the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. And it is stated, the illuminating splendor of Devi's toenails dispel the darkness of ignorance from the devotees prostrating at her feet. Her feet defeat the lotus in beauty. And in the Saundarya Lahari in Shloka 83, it states that the nails have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crown of the celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. Tamoguna is darkness, and in this stotram, the tamas is indicative of ignorance in the minds of devotees, and by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain knowledge. So by offering this Pratyaksha Pada Puja at the feet of the Nijavatara of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, manifesting Devi Parashakti, you will be blessed with removing all of the ignorance from your life and attaining knowledge. And the next offering that you can offer is the Vastra Seva, the offering of cloth to Devi Parashakti. And this offering of the Vastra Seva blesses the Yajamana with all the auspiciousness and blessings from both Devi Parashakti, manifesting through the Supreme Concept of Hinduism. Here are the list of the various offerings that you can make to Devi Parashakti. And in the next slide, we will go, you can see the website where you can visit to make your offering. So if you are immediately ready to make your offering, you can go ahead and visit tiny.cc/Devi offering, and you can immediately make your payment. And after you make your payment, you can sign up on the Sankalpa form. You can fill out the Sankalpa form for your names to be chanted during the offering. However, if you're not quite yet ready, or you still need help manifesting this offering, you can visit tiny.cc/Bhavasamadhi to fill out your intention form to make your offering, and you can receive more details to how to manifest this offering. So let us now go through how to make the online payment if you are ready to make your offering today. So we can visit tiny.cc/Devi offering. So you can go to the Devi offering, tiny.cc/Devi offering, and you can select any of the offerings that you would like to make. Say you would like to offer the golden lotus, you can choose the Swarna Pushpa, the Swarna Padma Pushpa, and you can add that to your cart, and you can offer as many as you would like. Say you would like to offer 3 or 4, one for yourself, one for your brother, your sister. You can go ahead and add as many as you would like to your cart, and you can go ahead and add that to your cart. And then once that is done, if you would like to say you'd like to make another offering, you can always go back and just press the back button, and you can say you would like to offer the Pratiksha Pada Puja along with this. You can choose that and add that to your cart. And then you can continue and make a single payment. Instead of making multiple payments, you can go ahead and proceed to your checkout and make a single payment for all of these offerings. And then you can fill out all of your billing details just as you would for any other online payment. Kailasa has made this very easy for you, and many of you, I'm sure, are very familiar with making online payments now that we are doing most of our shopping online. So you can fill out this as you would for any other online payment, and you can finish your payment. And after that, you can go ahead and go to the Sankalpa form and fill out your Sankalpa name. So you can go to tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. And here you can fill out all of the details for your Sankalpa offering so that your name and the names of your loved ones can be chanted during this offering. So you can go ahead and fill out all the details, and you can see that you can select all of the people that you want to offer this Sankalpa for and all of your details. And you can also fill out your nakshatra and your gotra in this form as well, if you have all those details. And if you don't, that is also okay. You can just select whichever offering that you are going to make or that you've made and fill out all of these details. And after this, your offering will be complete and you will be blessed with all of the blessings from Devi Parashakti herself. So with this, we will be concluding this segment of the program, and we will be entering into the next segment where we will be hearing from the administrators of the Adi Kailasa Sarvajñapita, who will be sharing about all of the wonderful activities that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made available at all of the Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems in India. As many of you have heard, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has opened up all of the Kailasas in India as COVID care centers to protect any person during this pandemic who wants to have multi-layer quarantine. They are welcome to sign up at kailasa.org/Kailasa Care and receive the benefits of the multi-layer quarantine in one of the Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems in India. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has not only made this multi-layer quarantine available, but has also made the whole opportunity completely free of cost. This includes fully free, organic, nutritious sattvic meal and the free internet services and free printing services for anyone who wanting to work from home, you are able to do that in the Adinam itself with all of the protection for you and your family. And along with that, the Supreme Council of Hinduism has made available the various supplements from Ayurveda, Siddha, and all of the traditional and even modern medicines. And the Supreme Council of Hinduism has also made available all of the free basic medical care within all of the campuses itself. So you do not need to leave for any purpose or any reason. So you can continuously stay protected and stay protected during this pandemic. So Ma Achalananda Swami has joined us today to share about all of these various activities that are going on. The Supreme Council of Hinduism has not only made this ecosystem to protect people during this pralaya, but has also given such a beautiful environment for each person to flower during this time. So Ma Achala Swami will be taking us through all of the various activities that have been going on in the Adi Kailashi Sarvanirmita and all of the beautiful things that have been happening during this time. The Supreme Council of Hinduism has made this ecosystem a perfect environment for all of us to have our super conscious breakthrough, even during this pralaya, and has made things like yoga, has made temple-based sciences all available for each being who is residing in the Sarvajnapitas in India. So thank you so much for joining us, Ma Achala Swami. I will let you take over now. Thank you so much, and we will continue with the next segment. Thank you. Nithyanandam. And as we wait for Ma Achala Swami to take us through this segment, let us understand how we can ask any of our questions to Devi Parashakti. Devi has been continuously manifesting through the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, has been continuously guiding, has continuously blessing us during this pralaya, during this pandemic. And we have the opportunity to receive her direct guidance, her direct blessings, and request any of our prayers to Devi Parashakti through all of the various social media platforms. So you can ask any of your questions on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube during the live Devi Parashakti Akashic readings. And Devi herself will guide you, will bless you during this time, and will literally attend to each and every single one of your questions or prayers that you may be having. And many of us have already received all of these various blessings and guidances from Devi Parashakti herself. So go ahead and ask any question that you would like answered or blessed from Devi Parashakti you can either ask on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and you can even ask on WhatsApp too. So you can also visit kailasa.org to learn more details about this. So we will be right back with the administrators from Adi Kailasha Satvanyapita after a very quick break, and we will be guided through all of the various activities that have been going on in the Kailasas in India. So we will be right back after a very quick break.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Shiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become e-Kailashians. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. E-Kailasa is proper customized spiritual service helping you to identify your root patterns of suffering. We have perfected the science of helping every individual from every cultural, religious, nationality background. You will have lowest reactionary assumptions, highest awakened response, alive response for life continuously. E-Kailasa is enlightenment ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. Proper customized spiritual service helping you to complete with your life negativity, withdrawal from life, self-hatred, self-denial, self-doubt, so much of tiredness, laziness. We can support you aligning your diet, your attitude, your aptitude, your understanding about life. We can help you with everything. If you are interested in enlightenment, we will immediately bring this to you. If you are not interested, we will explain the whole science, inspire you, and make you enlightenment time. We need to cater this enlightenment science to the whole world wherever they are, because enlightenment is the birthright of all human beings. Kailasa is responsible to provide that to all human beings. Kailasa is the totality of the knowledge I received from my gurus and practice manifested in my life, perfected by teaching millions of people from all cultures, time zones, backgrounds, genders, nationality, race, from every creed. So this absolutely perfected knowledge available to you, served to you in your home without even you moving out of your couch, free of cost.
Nithyanandam, and welcome to today's segment of the Adi Kailasa ship. COVID care protection centers which have been established across the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa across India. Today we will look into a very unique fundamental aspect of the COVID care protection provided in the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa through holistic medical care. Yes, along with medical care in the form of various forms of medicine, including allopathy as well as traditional forms of medicine, as well as the holistic care provided through spiritual solutions, life solutions, complete looking into all aspects of the needs of an individual. How that is done in the COVID care centers, let us take a look today. To understand the significance and the uniqueness of what's being provided in the COVID care centers across the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa, we really need to take a glimpse at what the world is going through today. Younger adults, if you see, are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and a depressive disorder today during the COVID-19 pandemic. One can see the ages 18 to 24, 56% of the youth are suffering from anxiety and or depressive disorder. 25 to 49, the more mature youth at almost 50%, and the middle-aged people at 39%, and the elderly at above 65 at 30%. So one can see across the whole age spectrum, people affected by anxiety and or depressive order because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Needless to say, these are the derivative effects, the so-called secondary effects, besides the physical trauma and the damage that the pandemic has been causing worldwide. So one can see here the share of the adults reporting the symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder. And this indicates how the whole world practically is impacted. Various surveys across the workforce also indicating stark concerning statistics. A survey of how are you feeling? This survey conducted by various companies across their employee workforce, asking what employees say they feel more than half the time at work. And here we see the results showing that 34% of the employee workforce says they feel tired. 34% feel they say they feel stressed. 27% say they feel burnt out. 22% discouraged. 19% distracted. 17% depressed. Now that's really a concerning statistic, because what used to be a healthy work-life survey conducted by companies to check on the pulse of the health of the employee workforce in terms of how they feel successful, ambitious in their career, how they feel fulfilled, has now translated to something asking the fundamentals about how they are feeling in terms of whether they are able to cope up with the stress at work, or whether they're feeling burnt out or depressed. And as we see the numbers indicating, a significant portion of the workforce actually feeling the hit of the corona pandemic in various ways, including at work, feeling stress, anxiety, burnt out, and discouraged and depressed. One can see here the American Psychological Association declaring that in America, the COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans, and it is actually a national mental health crisis. One can see here, nearly 8 in 10, which is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their life. Nearly 7 in 10 say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. And 1 in 4 essential workers, 25% diagnosed with mental health disorders since the start of the pandemic. One can see here, it is a double-edged problem. It is actually the very frontline defense of fighting the pandemic, which is the healthcare workers. The essential workers are the ones who are directly impacted, As we'll see further during this presentation, we'll see how the healthcare workers, the doctors, the medical professionals, not able to handle the trauma that they are forced to see day in and day out in terms of deaths, in terms of suffering of people, and across all ages, be it the young or the old. It is something unprecedented for obviously most medical professionals. 1 in 4 essential workers, 25% saying they're actually being diagnosed medically with mental health disorders. Imagine this is the workforce that is going to treat the patients at large. COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health burden is again what the surveys are indicating. More than 60,000 US healthcare workers have contracted COVID-19, 300 have died. And in comparison, an estimated just same number, 300 to 400 physicians die by suicide every year. Of the health workers who treated patients during the COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety, according to preliminary research. So as one can see, practically half of the medical workforce actually suffering from the very effects of the pandemic, that they are expected to be providing help and support to the patients who are expecting to get healed at their hands. And self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers also indicating before the COVID-19 pandemic, 15% faced depression, 29% faced anxiety, whereas during the COVID-19 pandemic, these numbers have shot up to almost 41% of the pregnant women and new mothers facing depression and 72% facing anxiety. Now, that's a lot to say in terms of the health of these young mothers or pregnant women and the impact that it's going to have on the newborns or the just borns. Needless to say, the mental state of the mothers being so important to which decides the growth of the child. One can see here the number of novel coronavirus COVID-19 deaths worldwide as of August the 19th, just a few days back by country. And as of August 19, 2021, the outbreak of the coronavirus has spread to 6 continents. 4.4 million people had died after contracting the respiratory virus. Over 128,000 of these deaths occurred in just one country, Italy. And as one can see here, the graphs indicating all the way from the United States to spanning the whole globe across various continents, like we said, 6 continents, 4.5 million people dead. What one needs to know today about the state of the virus and its variants, precisely as Devi Parashakti had revealed in her readings of the Akashic records, which the humanity, the planet Earth, was blessed to hear as a forewarning, much before, months before this actually hit the planet Earth. Exactly as Devi had said, the virus taking on various mutations to the extent that it will result in literally the Kirimi Bhojanam or the hell landing on planet Earth that has already happened. Whether press reports indicate or not, what is actually happening on the ground is the Delta variant of the COVID-19 has been called a variant of concern by the World Health Organization because of its high transmittability. Where the Delta variant is identified, it quickly and efficiently spreads between people. As of 10th August, the Delta variant has been reported in 142 countries and is expected to continue spreading. And as one can see here, the Delta variant is more contagious than the previous strains of the virus. It may cause more than 2 times as many infections. So one can see here the original COVID-19 strain and the virus that has taken on different variants, mutations, and the Delta variant right now, the silent killer. What one needs to know about the Delta variant, as per medical organizations, is the Delta variant is highly contagious, more than 2 times as contagious as the previous variants. And the Delta variant might cause more severe illness than previous strains in so-called unvaccinated persons. In two different studies from Canada and Scotland, patients infected with the Delta variant were more likely to be hospitalized than patients infected with Alpha or the original virus strains. Fully vaccinated people with the Delta variant breakthrough infections can spread the virus to others. However, vaccinated people appear to be infectious for a shorter period. Needless to say, vaccination or not, exactly as was warned, the variant of this coronavirus is taking its toll across the world, across all age groups, across all social strata. Previous variants typically produced less virus in the body of infected, fully vaccinated people than in unvaccinated people. In contrast, the Delta variant seems to produce the same high amount of virus in both unvaccinated and fully vaccinated people. However, like other variants, the amount of virus produced by the Delta breakthrough infections in fully vaccinated people also goes down faster than infections in unvaccinated people. This means fully vaccinated people are likely infectious for less time than unvaccinated people. But vaccine or no vaccine, the Delta is spreading across at phenomenal rates and taking lives. One can see here, we'll just watch for a few minutes what the medical professionals have to say. An example of one medical professional in the city of Mumbai in India, working 24/7 today as the coronavirus continues its onslaught. And as the medical professionals battle this virus, what are they going through? Let us take a quick glimpse at it.
Patients at home with oxygen, and this is not something we are enjoying. So I really want all of you to follow a few things that I really, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आपको 1 साल से कोरोना नहीं हुआ है इसलिए आप कोई सुपर हीरो हो या आपकी इम्यूनिटी बहुत अच्छी है और आपको ऐसे कुछ नहीं होगा, तो आप गलत फहमी में हो. हम यंग लोगों को देख रहे हैं. I mean, we have a 35-year-old who's on the ventilator and we are not able to help people now. So we do not want, we really don't want any of you to be in that situation. So, sorry. I think ये जो emotional breakdown है हम doctors में अब सबको कोई ना कोई समय हो रहा है because we've not been so helpless, okay?
Let's hear another doctor expressing the situation on the ground.
So, private sector being involved and more testing being done is good, because I have always suspected from day one that the numbers which are being declared and announced are just the tip of the iceberg. And I have said it 2 days back also on your show that the real numbers are many times more, and there is infection which is simmering in the community and it's there waiting to explode any day. And I must share with you that I just read half an hour back that today about 30 people have tested positive in NIV Pune. Now this is something I read on the internet. I do not know whether it is correct or not, but if it's correct, it's a very serious matter. I have also read about somebody in AIIMS Bhopal who is a positive case, having come in contact with a large number of doctors, about which the Resident Doctors Association have complained. Now, Vishnu, these are clear-cut indicators of what is happening at the community level. If anyone today says that this is still in stage 2, we have not yet hit stage 3, I think he is just closing his eyes to the reality which is glaring at us. The reality is that there is, I think we've already moved from 2 to stage 3, and it's just a matter of few days before this bomb explodes in front of our eyes.
Doctor, when you say when this bomb explodes in front of our eyes, what is it that we will see? Will we see a sharp spike in cases, or will we see a sharp spike in death rates?
Vishnu, if you track the numbers that are increasing for the last 10 days, first we had few cases, no death. then we had 5 to 6 per day increase in the number of cases, and then we had little more increase in the number of cases. And if you look at the number of cases added in the last 24 hours, it's the largest number added in the last 2 weeks. Yesterday, the number was around 156 or 160. I'm talking of the reported cases. And today we are touching 250. So roughly 70, 80 declared cases added in the last 24 hours, which is the largest increase. So not only are the numbers increasing, but the increase in the numbers of numbers is also increasing. And this just is reflective of a large volume of cases which are there out there in the society. And I guess by Wednesday or Thursday or latest by the next weekend, this bomb will explode in front of us. And when it happens, when you have a large number of people falling sick, as has been said. Now look at that graphic.
Yep.
The largest increase in the number of cases has been today. This could be more tomorrow. This could be still more day after tomorrow. And I don't think we need artificial intelligence to figure out where this graph will ultimately lead to. So we are just a few days away from a very, very serious, maybe Spain or Italy or China-like situation. And when we have a large number of cases infected, of course, majority of them will be mild, but given our population density, given that a large number of people in our country suffer from undernutrition, various lung ailments, diabetes is so common in our country, heart disease is so common, and the kind of health resources, health infrastructure we have at the periphery, I don't think, again, we need artificial intelligence to be able to figure out that these large number of cases will also convert into a large number of deaths, which is now not too far away for us to be seeing. The writing is there on the wall. If we still want to close our eyes, the choice is ours.
इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, मोबाइल, ब्रॉडबैंड सब हो गया.
So private sector being involved and more testing being done.
So one heard here the stark predictions, which are exactly in consonance with what Devi had warned and revealed months before it already hit us. And here one can see some gory visuals. Really, the world, specifically India, is going through in terms of the shocking number of deaths, the cremations challenging, official numbers skyrocketing, and whether the governments are actually hiding the COVID deaths, and cremations continuing as the death toll of the virus crosses lakhs and millions. And here, let's watch one more video where there are concerning questions and data indicating that the numbers are 10 times more than the official figures.
But today we saw startling new evidence of the ravages of the pandemic in India. Now, it was already a dire situation, the government reporting more than 415,000 people have died. But most infectious disease experts agree the real toll is almost certainly much higher. Today, the Washington-based Center for Global Development released the most comprehensive study on the impact of the coronavirus in India. And as feared, it says India's death toll could be a staggering 10 times higher than the official tally. Now, that would mean 4.7 million additional deaths from the start of the pandemic until June of this year. And just a few months ago, India saw a devastating rise in infections driven largely by the more infectious Delta variant. Well, joining us now is one of the authors of that report. Abhishek Anand is a graduate of Harvard's Kennedy School, and he has worked as a policy analyst for the Indian government. He joins me tonight from Delhi. It's good to have you on the program. We knew that India's COVID-related deaths were higher than the official figures, but were you surprised? Were you shocked at what came out of your research. I mean, we're talking about nearly 5 million extra deaths.
Yeah, we were surprised, to be frank, because
But today we saw startling new evidence of the ravages of the pandemic in India.
So one saw here the facts and the statistics being starkly indicating of what the reality is, and no matter what reasons may be attributed, that is where we are standing. And where we are, not only India, but the whole world, various countries, what are the challenges being faced in addition to this pandemic? The inadequacy of the modern healthcare and the need for the holistic solution. Holistic solution need is extremely there right in the face. As one can remember, during the Ebola outbreak in West Africa in 2014, more people died from the interruption of social services and economic breakdown than from the virus itself. This should not have happened, and the world cannot let it happen again. As the world enters the deepest global recession since the Great Depression, we need to connect health needs to social, economical, environmental needs of the whole population. Need to ensure that essential health services are still available and need to protect health systems. Some of these are the challenges and the needs is identified by world organizations like the United Nations. The need to help people cope with adversity through social protection and basic services. The need to promote social cohesion and community-led resilience and response systems, and a mutually beneficial symbiotic relation between humans and their surrounding ecosystems is inter alia the answer to more resilient economies and societies. Health systems are today being overwhelmed by the COVID-19 outbreak. When health systems collapse, the deaths from the outbreak itself can quickly be exceeded by deaths from preventable or treatable conditions no longer managed by a failing health system. It's therefore crucial to maintain essential life-saving health services even while addressing the pandemic. At least half of the world still does not have full coverage of essential health services, and about 100 million people are still being pushed into extreme poverty because of health costs itself. The two-phase strategy which is being proposed is first, targeted actions to allow countries to maintain essential life-saving health services, even as they surge to meet the spike in demand for acute care. Second, a complementary effort targeting health systems recovery, preparedness, and strengthening with a focus on primary health care and universal coverage and for future waves of COVID-19. These are some of the UN efforts for health first, protecting health services and systems during the crisis. Now, these are the plans and the proposals. Has anybody really been able to implement these? Let us see. And to understand more visually in terms of how COVID-19 is the biggest cause of death in India and what's really happening on the ground, let us watch this video. And what does this mean? No hospital beds. How families, societies, individuals are taking this?
Overwhelmed hospitals have been the worst case COVID scenario for most nations. But this is horror on another scale entirely. The car park of a temple, where families who've been turned away from emergency rooms take their dying.
आप 5 मिनट देखो 85 है सर, आप थोड़ी देर उनको रोको तो सही, देखो तो सही कि स्टेबल हो रहा नहीं हो रहा, ऑक्सीजन दवा नहीं होती, इतना घबराओ मत, पैनिक मत करो.
These are some of the most distressing scenes we've witnessed during the course of our reporting. And this isn't even a hospital. It's a Sikh where they're just helping out with oxygen and basic care. It's 45 degrees and it's so hot that the volunteers cannot even wear their PPEs. And people just keep coming and coming and coming. And there's just no room at any of the local hospitals for the people who are here. In ordinary times, they distribute free meals here. But there's nothing ordinary about what is happening to these families. At least 12 people die outside this temple every day. Today, Preeti Gautam is praying her father is not one of them. She and her brother Vipin panicked when he could no longer breathe on his own at home. They tried taking him to different hospitals, but there were no beds. So they brought him here. The doctor isn't hopeful. He advises Vipin to keep looking for a hospital. But their ambulance driver is out of ideas. Help is arriving here slowly, in tiny amounts. India's deadly second wave has forced the nation's supply chain of oxygen far beyond its limit. And every avoidable death heaps more pressure on Narendra Modi's government. More accusations that he failed to prepare his country for this. Surjit Singh Sandhu volunteers here at great risk. Many of those helping out are testing positive for COVID themselves. He puts his faith in his temple.
ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਚਲਾਇਆ ਸੀ 500 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ
Hope comes from the patients they do manage to save.
ठीक है अच्छी है माता जी चिंता मत करो कितने पैसे थे 30 पे 77 है अरे इतनी ऑक्सीजन खाई माता जी कोई बात नहीं चलो खाते रहो
So it lies, people are flooding social media and phoning hospitals across New Delhi searching for canisters. Srinivas, president of the Indian Youth Congress, has set up a war room in his office. His team coordinates requests for oxygen, hospital beds and drugs. 100 volunteers man the phones. The few hours a night they do manage to sleep are spent in the office. Across the capital, Mohammed Shamim is also run off his feet. He's an undertaker at a Muslim cemetery, like his father and grandfather before him. He thought he had seen it all. Then the second wave hit.
ऐसा है माहौल तो ऐसा है जनाब कि हमारे जो कब्रिस्तान के जो ब्लॉक है कोविड ब्लॉक है वो तकरीबन सारा भर चुका है लेकिन ये है कि बस जो थोड़ी बहुत जगहें बची हुई हैं तो उन्हीं जगहों में हम जो उन जगहों को इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं और क्या आप देख सकते हो कब्र से कब्र मिला के खोदी जा रही है अब तो कि जगह को ज़रा सा भी हम वेस्ट नहीं जाने दे रहे.
Up to 20 bodies arrive each day, he says. Far more young people than last time. By the end of the week, there will be no space left here.
Hello.
Calls come in from 6 a.m. until midnight.
कोविड से हुआ उनका भी ठीक है ले आइए हाँ लेके आ जाइए हाँ वहीं ले आइए मैं जो भी कुछ हो करा दूँगा टेंशन नहीं. मेरे टीम वर्कर हैं मेरे और भी स्टाफ के लोग हैं उन लोगों को भी ज़िंदगी में ऐसा कभी हमने देखने को नहीं मिला जो इस बार हमें देखने को मिल रहा है. ना तो रोज़े रख पा रहे हैं ना ही किसी तरीके से कुछ कर पा रहे हैं. बस वहीं से कपड़ा छोड़ो थोड़ा सा झुक जाओ.
Crematoriums are running out of space too. Makeshift funeral pyres burn around the clock. The death toll in parts of India, both metropolitan and rural, is staggering. And worse still, the number of lives lost here so far is almost certainly vastly underreported. Overwhelmed hospitals have been the worst case.
So one saw what is happening on the ground in terms of what the medical care, the healthcare workers are going through, what individuals and families and societies are going through, what cities are facing in terms of cremations, not able to handle the number of deaths, and needless to say, the unimaginable psychological trauma that every person in this, practically this whole world is going through. And here one can see the weekly trends, the number of corona cases crossing in the millions and the deaths also touching in millions. And here we can see the reported cases and the deaths by country or territory. Every single country in the world impacted. The 7-day rolling average of COVID-19 cases in India, and one can see here the huge spike that happened just weeks back, and the number of confirmed cases as per the official numbers itself crossing millions. And as we discussed, this is what the challenges the world is facing, the needs as the world organizations like the United Nations, which are helping battle this pandemic of unimagined and probably unprecedented proportions has brought to humanity. And in the face of this, to counter every single challenge that was discussed about in terms of healthcare, holistic healthcare, and the needs of people, here we have a living, absolutely successful proof of concept in the form of the COVID care centers in the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa all across India, which have the record unmatched by any government or any civil society or any organization in terms of zero deaths. Not only zero deaths, being able to have communities which are not only living and protected from this threat of corona, but also in such a blissful, living in such a blissful manner through the spiritual solutions, the holistic medical care, and the huge slew of offerings which are given by the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa under the guidance and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. So let's understand what those methods are, what have been deployed, what is the solution really for this COVID-19 pandemic in terms of how to protect oneself from it in the first place, and how to continue to live life as it used to exist in the pre-COVID-19 in terms of living in a non-emergency mode, living in security, and being able to function completely and contribute to humanity.
Distorted policy decisions and conflicting principles can lead to. Okay. Now, let us look into the key obstacles. Globalization of disease has led the world to be only as resilient as the least resilient country and person, especially for highly contagious COVID-19, which has spread with a scale and severity not seen since Spanish flu. The variants of the virus continue to threaten even those who are vaccinated. Secondary diseases such as black fungal diseases are targeting COVID patients and killing almost 1 in 2 persons in such cases. Distorted policy decisions and conflicting principles can lead to polarizations among nations and within, leading to various extremes such as the hoarding of vaccines in some places, the wastage of vaccines in others, and an unaddressed shortage of vaccines globally. Number 3, the pandemic has exposed the fragility of the global systems. The disruption in supply chain is especially worrisome for essential food supplies, which disproportionately affects the already most vulnerable even more. The lockdowns have brought the global economy into crisis, bringing recessions after recessions and worsening the unemployment rates. Frequent lockdown and ongoing threat of famine, especially in countries where employment is predominantly informal, are exacerbating worries that starvation may cause more suffering than the actual deaths that are incurred due to virus. Far from SDG 2, which is the Sustainable Development Goals 2, zero hunger policy that the United Nations have been advocating so far, the number is now predicted to come to about 1 billion. Now, what are the solutions that we have in our plate now? The revised economic policies. Human life is more precious and important than all the economic principles or systems in totality, because all these concepts are legitimate only because of their utility value, which is to fundamentally make the human life better. At least until this ongoing crisis ends, all the economic policies need to be revised to make sure no human being suffers from hunger or the absence of required medical care. As per the Hindu principles, the world, including the economy, evolves through 5 phases, which is creation, that is growth, sustenance or stagnation, recession or revitalization, reinvention, and the 5th phase is breakthrough. As per Hinduism, conventional economic growth is observed when best practices are applied diligently. However, during the times of crisis, that leads us to a 4th and 5th phase, wherein the need to reinvent and deliver a breakthrough becomes both a survival need and an opportunity to surpass any means and measures of conventional economic growth. According to Keynesians, increased public expenditure during the Great Depression of 1929 improved the economy. However, they were trying to balance the budget, which resulted in it never spending enough to bring the economy out of recession until the Second World War. Similarly, the current crisis requires governments to temporarily discard trying to balance economic interests that compromises the quarantine safety and put human life at risk, and rather reinvent their economic strategies and multilateral coordination for benefiting during the subsequent breakthrough period after the end of the crisis. Hindu multilateralism. There is an immense inequality in the capacities of government, organizations, and people on 2 grounds. Number 1 is health response. Number 2 is economic response, economic recovery. Surviving the highly contagious COVID-19, where the world is only as resilient as the least resilient country, and the person requires governments, organizations, and people to collectively address this crisis. From 3200 BCE, 56 nations in Asia had multilateral treaties based on Hindu principle, which is Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam. The entire world is my family. Provide sustainable community livings with multi-layered quarantine opportunities. Home or self-quarantine is not a viable solution for a vast majority of people for either safety reasons or economic reasons. In Assam, home quarantine has been reported to be a primary reason for a large number of deaths. In some places, governments have moved out of home quarantine to COVID care centers. Other issues linked to quarantine includes, especially in small houses, are the mental health problems, such as an increase in suicidal ideation, especially created among the young population. This requires friendly quarantine setups, which are self-sustained and sufficient in terms of food stock and supplies, recreation, economic, employment, education, etc. In India, state governments have attempted to provide free and paid solutions which face various challenges related to hygiene, exorbitant pricing. Some facilities have seen challenges related to requests for private accommodation. Experimental townships such as Auroville have demonstrated a fair amount of success in creating a friendly, safe, and compliant quarantine facility. However, solutions such as Auroville, they are not open to public. Yes, for 2 decades, the leader of the ASMT Hindu community, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, had been creating townships like Auroville across more than 100 cities in several countries. Most of these townships, such as the ASMT Monastery, India, have been opened to offer multi-layered quarantine as a free public service with free accommodation, food, free internet to work from home, which is monastery. The ASMT community has seen a fair amount of success in these townships with 0 reported cases of COVID infection in the past 2 years and has already saved many lives. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, citizens worldwide, especially from regions severely affected by the pandemic, to protect themselves as the topmost priority and avail these free quarantine facilities that the community has created, especially as home quarantine has failed for many and is known to be the primary reason for large number of deaths in many scenarios. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, has emphasized the need and urged the government worldwide to provide food, safety, medical care, shelter, and all the survival needs to all human beings under their care, with absolute multi-layered quarantine until coronavirus is eliminated from planet Earth, including all different strains of virus. Number 4, educate citizens on individual pandemic management. Unlike previous pandemics, the current era provides active, real-time and visual information about the fatalities. Underreporting of this data may give false hope and make people reckless. Exaggerations in reporting can also make people reckless, as they may feel eventual death due to the fact that the coronavirus is actually inevitable. The proper education is extremely crucial, as it will dramatically reduce the number of deaths and reduce the challenge on the healthcare systems. Alcohol-related deaths have hit a high record during this pandemic, and long post-lockdown liquor lines are some extremely worrisome issues regarding which people need to be educated. As a top priority, people need to be given confidence in their life and security about their future for them to start behaving recklessly or fall into depression and commit suicide. Leveraging best of different economic systems based on charity, barter, and money. Ancient Hindu economic treatises by Paramashivoham describe three kinds of economic systems and principles. Number one, for things that do not perish by sharing, such as education and knowledge. Paramashiva recommends that no fee be charged. Number two is survival needs such as food and healthcare, which is barter and charity are recommended. For all the other infrastructure developmental works, services and commodities, gold and conventional currency-based transactions are allowed. These systems are still in practice in modern day, but grossly overlooked, and it is not sufficiently studied within their close relation to mainstream economics. The World Health Organization and GISAID provided early access to data regarding the virus. This is an example of an open knowledge-based economic policy where critical data about the virus was not monetized. Similarly, South Korea helped the USA access mosques, and there was a hope that this would lead to a reciprocal arrangement in terms of vaccines, which is like a barter-based model allowed in food and healthcare. A highly effective concept for ensuring food security in ancient Hindu nations was that of food grain banks. These were prevalent until the 18th century. The elderly in villages would start food grain banks with a capital seed of grains collected by fundraising. If any person met with a crisis such as crop failure, the food grain bank would lend him grains in exchange for an interest. The debtor was expected to return with the principal grain amount during the next harvest. The food bank expands its reserves of food grains based on the interest earned and donations. At the time of severe crisis such as famine, the entire village would be able to withdraw these grains, and if required, all such grains loans would be written off on humanitarian grounds. In Hindu temples, food is shared for free as a policy. This was the case in both ancient times and also in modern times. For the last 27 years, every month, the Hindu ASMT community, the Adishaivite minority community, has served more than 3 million free organic meals in religious gatherings to everyone without discrimination and served over 1 billion free meals in total. Such private and public are crucial to ease the threats of starvation, which is estimated to hit 1 billion people worldwide. The crisis requires governments to take aggressive, proactive measures to monitoring health. Smartphone applications have been used by the governments that are based on health code color systems that recognizes the individual into 3 basic colors based on their health status and travel history, and then determine whether they can be quarantined or not. Though there were privacy-related concerns associated with these approaches, some of these measures, such as agile daily reporting systems for accounting of newly suspected, diagnosed, asymptomatic cases, number of deaths, and generating area-wise statistics, have played a very important role in proactively responding to curb the spread of the disease. And it is actually considered by implementation by various countries. Number 8 is the traditional medicine. In Hinduism, nature and planet Earth are respected as a living divine mother energies capable of providing us with all the survival needs, whether it is food, medicines, etc. Though traditional medicines such as TCM and Ayurveda are effective in Addressing COVID-related issues, a few years ago, a Nobel Prize was awarded for scientific work based on traditional medicine. Mainstream Western medicine has chosen to characterize Ayurveda as a pseudoscience and TCM as unscientific. Such demeaning of traditional medicine systems have led nations to consider taking defensive unilateral decisions to protect their interests. Outright rejection of traditional medicine is not wise, and such policies should be revisited, especially as these medical systems are time-tested and have kept people healthy for several generations. Kailash Union recommends governments worldwide provide solutions like Kailasa's Hindu medical care, which includes completely free of charges, which is whether it is yoga, Ayurveda, Siddha, Western medicines, and they also provide, the most importantly, multi-layered quarantine facilities for complementing their ongoing public health efforts. International Treaty for Pandemic Preparedness. International multilateral negotiations and treaties should consider multilateralism based on the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, which is entire world is my family, prioritizing imparting education on individual pandemic management and giving hope to people, multilateral strategies and coordination for the pursuance of SDG 7, which is sustainable cities and communities, with additional emphasis on multi-layered quarantine. Waiver of patents on extremely essential vaccines and common global funding of vaccines. Everyone should be provided access to traditional healthcare systems free from the policies that are prejudicial and discriminatory towards these systems. The creation of food grain bank systems and other traditional economic systems are described in this report would help the most vulnerable people, disrupting life and economy such that the effects of the lockdown are unnoticeable. The sovereign order of Kailasa worldwide, inspired and guided by the vision of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, to save lives. It is actually one of a kind humanitarian charitable service massively mobilized to provide protection and preventive COVID care in this testing time of global meltdown. Through this initiative, Kailasa has been consistently supporting people through free food banks, free medical care, and many more services. The impact of mental disorder and lack of spiritual strength during a humanitarian crisis are often difficult to access and inflict lasting damages. To assure this, Kailasa is offering spiritual programs, temple events, and spiritual healing online. Kailasa's recommendations on COVID-19 and multilateralism to be presented at UN General Assembly and Human Rights Council. United Nations have recognized Kailasa's report on COVID-19 and multilateralism. Kailasa's report and recommendations on the International Treaty on COVID got accepted and published by the United Nations. Surviving the highly contagious COVID-19, where the world is the only resilient as the least resilient country and person requires true multilateralism, whether it is in terms of governments or organizations, in every single way, people need to address these issues in a collective manner. Kailasa has been successful in providing grassroots level solid solutions in multifarious, which include providing sustainable community living with multi-layered quarantine, educating citizens on individual pandemic management, leveraging best of the different economic systems based on charity, barter, and money, providing food security and traditional Hindu medicines. These unique contributions have been recognized by the United Nations in a recent report. So here is an opportunity for you to join this COVID Care Protection Center designed, guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. This particular approach, the whole entire approach devised by Swamiji, has been recognized and appreciated in the United Nations itself. So this is an amazing opportunity to one and all to be part of these COVID care protection centers. And as Devi Parashakti, the third wave of corona is going to be extremely deadly. So before the onset of this third wave, or the way it is going to attack all of us, let us take precautionary steps. Let us protect ourselves. The most important thing is to be alive in the next 3 years, as Swamiji beautifully shared. So we welcome you all to be part of this COVID Care Protection Center. You can sign up in this link below, which is kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. KAILAASA.org/Kailasa Care. Let's take a few minutes for the viewers to register yourselves in the COVID Care Protection Center. In the next segment, we're going to have a participant, one of the participants from the COVID Care Protection Center, Mr. Ram Kumar from Chennai, who is going to share his experiences of being in the Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarvanya Peetham. So before we take Ram Aya into the show, let's take a short break for the viewers to register yourselves in this COVID Care Protection Center link. kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Let's take a few minutes to register.
We get you health. We get you ability to build beautiful relationships in your life. We get you direct spiritual support, and we make sure you become wealthy. We won't stop giving you just good life. We will literally not stop till you live enlightened life. Manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. Whole world should become Ekailashians. I want the whole world to know Hindus have something great to contribute to the world. We have something great to contribute to the world. Let us do that. Kailasa.
Yes. Nithyanandam, to the viewers, we have Ram Kumar Ayya from Chennai, who has joined our show today, and he is going to share his experiences of being a COVID Care Protection Center participant in Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Sarangipitam. Nithyanandam Ayya, we welcome you to the show today. So I would like to request you to unmute yourself, and you can introduce yourself to the viewers.
Sorry for the technical glitch, as we just wait a few minutes for Ram Ayya to be joining back. What we wanted to share over here, many people, many participants of the COVID Care Protection Center waiting to share with the world the greatest blessing that His Divine Holiness, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has given to each and every being who has come over here, either at the call of the Parashakti or by the instruction, the ordainment of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, exhorting each and every being to value life and not take the pandemic for granted and protect oneself from the pralaya and come rush to any of the de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa. So we have Ram Ayya back, and let's hear what Ram Ayya has to say regarding his experience here at the COVID Care Protection Center at Adi Kailasa.
Nithyanandam
Ayya.
Nithyanandam. First of all, I say the thanks to Swamiji and Adi Kailas admins for given the wonderful opportunity to share my experience to the world. I would like to share my experience how we are in Adi Kailas CC center right now. So past 2 months before I came, exactly July 23rd, I reached Adi Kailas for COVID center purpose. So once Swamiji told, okay, all the people who are all wants to survey without pandemic fear, please go and stay to Adi Kailas. We decided at the moment So we plan to go to Adi Kailas. So in the Adi Kailas, I have to share my CC experience. The first point, each day we are living very safe compared to the outer world people, because in the outer world, everyone is living with fear of pandemic and COVID-19. But here we are living without any fear about the COVID-19 and then any pandemic fear. So, so the thing is, I share my experience. Last one to 1.5 years, when pandemic starts, COVID-19 starts, literally myself living with fear mode only. So once reached Adi Kailas, I'm not living with any fear of pandemic and COVID-19. Can you hear, Amma?
Yes, Aya. Please go ahead. That's wonderful, Aya, because like you rightly pointed out, it is very common for people to right from buying a water bottle or groceries or medicines, or even going to work, any casual or official visit, people are so afraid. We don't know what is going to happen next moment.
Yes,
So
Amma.
here,
Each and every time when I go out and come to the house, literally I'm very feared to touch my kid. So nearly 1 to 1.5 hours, I left out terrace garden or my garden, and then sit and then wash my hands or took the pot in outside only, and then after only I will enter to my house. After my kid can come and catch me, but I told him don't touch. But that kind of literally that inner fear, not only inner fear, that's fear only we are leading the life in the past 1.5 years. After reach the Adi Kailash only, I hug my kid, and then I touch my kid without any fear, and living without mask, and then we have to eat the food and without fear. That's we are having it everyday meals. That's what Swamiji provided as a sattvic food. Enjoying that food and without any hesitation and without any single fear, we are having that food and that kind of freedom to living here. First of all, I'm free from mask, and then I'm literally out from that inner fear. That's even if even my wife went to college and come back, I am not. Speak to her. Okay, you will go and take the board, and then after that only we will speak to about other activities, or speaking about that. Okay, what's your routine happening in your college and what we will. So those kind of things, that one, those things has all happened in outer world. After came to the Adi Kailas, we are literally living very free, very free fear mode. So that everyday morning, we are starting with the good, our everyday routines like yoga, asanas, and then puja, rituals, sevas. Thanks to Swamiji for living this kind of opportunity, giving this kind of opportunity for us. And then not only for this is everyone's saying like, okay, we are also have same doing in our home also, like doing puja, yoga. Okay, the same we are living as God living places. We will do definitely the difference. Will definitely will realize the differences. So, so I am not feeling about outside of the Buddhi and inside of Buddhi. That means allowing us to celebrate a lot of functions inside a campus, like birthday celebration, and then Varalakshmi Nombu. Recently we have celebrated Varalakshmi Nombu, and it's we are enjoying that Guru Purnima this year.
Actually, even everyday puja for that matter, right? You guys used to do like a celebration going up to Kailash Courtyard and with all the procession.
We are gathered and procession and doing and done the kirtans and pray the God in different way. Like Ganas, how to Ganas have to celebrate the Lord Sadashiva the same way we are celebrating everyday puja and rituals, Amma.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So also I wanted to hear from you. Are you working? How you are able to manage?
Yes, Amma, 100. Yeah, not only for me, my wife also is working. She is also working as a college lecturer. Myself, I'm an IT guy. I'm working here. It's not the difference between whether I'm working outside and inside. That's 100%. I'll give the thanks to admins for Adi Kailash admins. They have given the wonderful support, provide the Wi-Fi, and then given the opportunity to attend the office work without any hurdles, without any power breakups. If there is any happen, they suddenly sort it out. That's I'm amazing. I don't know how it's manifest those things as. So within few things has happened. Oh my God, it's happened. Oh no, suddenly within 1 or 2 hours it will resume it. Okay, I'll attend my regular work like office calls. Even I every day morning in 3 o'clock I connect with my office call without any hurdles. After reached Adi Kailash, I'm enjoying to attend at my office work. So Monday to Friday, without any hurdles to work, I'm doing my regular job without any without any breaks, without any leaves. First of all, so those kind of support I received from Adi Kailash and from Swamiji.
Wonderful.
And then my son also attended. My son
how is
also
your son enjoying?
Yes,
how is your son enjoying, and what would you like to share with us about his experiences?
Yes, Amma. Yes, Amma. That's all. Out in my Chennai. That's my apartment. Myself alone to live 6 months, Amma. No one is there. Everyone is went to their hometown. So for Swamiji advice, I am not moved from my hometown. So only I stay with my apartment. Once after Swamiji told, okay, that's paralyzed, and in last December, that mid of the December, Swamiji advised, okay, paralyzed, and then only I moved from my hometown. So between those 1 year, he is not playing with anywhere. He's only alone to play with us and then play with his pet dog. So he only literally asked me, okay, we want to go to Adi Kailash. I want to living with Adi Kailash. So after he came here, only he's enjoying a lot. Every day he's enjoy with its seva, and then went to temple and then play with the do that seva and do the puja for an Adi Kailash. Come on, Prithu, you will say your experience. Yeah, you will say something. I'm very enjoying this Adi Kailash.
I'm very enjoying temple in.
Lovely. Thank you so much. So, Aya, what would you like to share to our viewers? In terms of who should be part of this COVID Care Protection Center, and what is your final words to our viewers?
Okay, that's few things that I want to highlight here. So regular yoga, puja. Now we are enjoying it. Maheshwar puja. It's every month. That's the main thing. And then not only for that, okay, taking care of. If you have kids, elders, and then family man, and then bachelor, who are all, it's multi-layer quarantine. Swamiji literally it's achieved that concepts, wonderful concepts. Right now we are that multi-layer quarantine. It's wonderful support as to living it without any fear. Surviving our life is very happy, very joyful. That not only simple word I have to say. Okay, not gratitude, compassion of Swamiji. If you feel like that, okay, I'm the outer world. I have some illness, I want to take care of my, yes, definitely that COVID care center has provide different way of healthcare support. If you have allopathy treatment, yes, definitely they will do the allopathy. Is Ayurveda? Yes, definitely they do the Ayurveda. As well as they provide the Siddha. Each medication purpose, they have to provide different actively support us to for which area you want to take care of your medication. They have to provide is aushadas. And then if you want any medication for allopathy, yes, definitely they will provide that. All the things as for allopathy medicines also. They take care each and every day. They call us and then okay, will take you have regularly take a kadka pudi, castor oil, and then monitoring our health purpose, and each and every time have to asking about that how your health. So those kind of medications also they will provide for us. So literally no one to ask in outer world how are you, how is your health. Each and every time it's some, if each and every sannyasis and adinavasis are asking us how are you, how is your health. I'm very thankful to Swamiji for taking care of us for this COVID pandemic time. The COVID Care Center is helping us to enjoy blissful moment for us in our life.
That's wonderful, Aya. Thank you so much for joining our show today. We really enjoyed listening to your experiences being part of this COVID Care Protection Center in Adi Kailas Nithyananda Paramashivam. So here we are, viewers. We are coming to end of this segment. We invite every single viewer not to miss this opportunity. You will have a different experience, life-changing experience altogether, where you can live it and claim your conscious sovereignty. So register yourselves to the COVID Care Protection Centers at Adi Kailas Nithyananda Paramashivam, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. With this, we come to the end of this segment, and we give a few more minutes for the viewers to register yourself for this a wonderful opportunity of being part of the COVID Care Protection Centers at Adi Kailas Nithyananda Paramashivam.